Hello and welcome to the PNY webinar around NVIDIA Omniverse. My name is Manfred Pieper. I'm the Regional Marketing Manager for Central Europe for professional visualization. And on the other side is Frank Scheufens, Product Manager, Professional Visualization from PNY.
Hello.
In the next steps, or in the next, we want to present everything around NVIDIA Omniverse, the platform, and the new graphic card, the RTX 6000 Ada, the new Ada Lovelace series. In the bottom of the page, you have some icons. One of the icons is a Q&A. Here you can send us some questions. The questions we will answer after the webinar in a session for Q&A. After this presentation or after the webinar, we will send the video or a link to a video and also a link to the presentation so you can check yourself after the presentation. So Frank, what's your lead?
Thank you, Manfred. And again, welcome to the webinar. I'll start with a short explanation what Omniverse is, including some details about the different components. Then I'll cover use cases and customer feedbacks. I'll explain the available licenses and possibilities for a free evaluation and end with a recommendation for the graphics card, introducing the NVIDIA RTX 6000 Ada generation. To understand the benefits of Omniverse, you first have to know how a digital production pipeline is working. We have more or less large teams with special skills using a lot of different applications and tools, and the teams often are working remotely or are spread in different locations, maybe around the world. And the tools used are often incompatible, which leads to workflows with a lot import and export of files, converting and transferring data, often causing model decimation, mistakes and time lost. And additionally, if changes must be made, you have to repeat the complete process. Due to rendering times, you're also losing a lot of time waiting before you see the final result. Then you might need to do changes and wait again for the renderings, which can be hours or days depending on the model size or animation. On top of this, the workflows are increasing in complexity, mainly to include new features like global illumination, real-time ray tracing, AI, compute, and simulation into the daily workflow. NVIDIA faced all these issues, and the solutions they found are known as NVIDIA Omniverse today. The first step to address the import and export problems was to use only one file format. And here Pixar's USD, this is Universal Scene Description, was taken as it was open source and offers the possibility to include all informations needed, even for multiple platforms like Windows, Android, or iOS. Universal Scene Description is a framework that was especially developed for the interchange of 3D computer graphics, and the framework focuses on collaboration, non-destructive editing, and enabling multiple views and opinions about the graphics data. USD was also already used in many industries, including visual effects, architecture, design, robotics, and CAD. And it is getting more and more attention by big ISVs, including Pixar, Autodesk, Unity, and so on, as they also see the need of a powerful, unified file format for 3D graphics. The next step was to use USD also with the applications, and the solutions here are plugins. NVIDIA calls these connectors. With Omniverse now being available for more than 1 year, we have different types of connectors. Bidirectional connectors can share content in real time to and from other applications. Unidirectional connectors can only share content to other applications, and we can convert a lot of file types to USD, sometimes directly from inside an application. Please note that some of the connectors shown here are still in the beta phase. In the center of what we call Omniverse is the file server, the Omniverse Nucleus. This is the database and collaboration engine that enables the interchange of 3D assets and scene descriptions. And this platform has been built from ground up to be physically based and integrated with core NVIDIA technologies like physics, AI, and real-time ray and path tracing. On the slide, you see on the left different applications and users that connects to the file server, and on the right, viewers can portal in and out of Omniverse with workstations or laptops, or even virtual or augmented reality. Anyone can view a scene on Omniverse by streaming it to their device. Here is a demo that showcases Unreal Engine, Substance, and Maya driven by 3 different users. On the right is the composite view from all 3 applications within Omniverse demonstrating real-time interactive collaboration. So you can imagine you've got 3 designers from a firm or from different firms working on a project, and on the right you could have the project manager, you could have the supervisor, the customer, and they get to review all of the changes in real time. They can adjust the placement of the refrigerator, move the shelves around, adjust the color of the wall, the look of the brick. Before Omniverse, the production pipeline would be unidirectional, meaning one designer would model the building, export, then the next designer would import the building into their own app, adjust and add, then export again. If anything needed to be changed at the end of the pipeline, each layer of the model would have to be adjusted through each of these steps, going all the way back in the pipeline and then all the way forward. This takes a lot of time and is very inefficient. The interactive collaboration you see here simply was not available before, and Omniverse makes it possible. In this slide, you see the 5 foundational components of the Omniverse platform. Omniverse Nucleus allows users to store, share, and collaborate on project data and provides the unique ability to collaborate live across multiple applications. Nucleus works on a local machine, on premises, or in the cloud. Omniverse Connect are the plugins that allows users to work in their favorite software application. Omniverse Kit is a toolkit for developers to easily create their own custom tools and extensions to accelerate their workflows. Omniverse Simulation is a suite of core NVIDIA technology that enables the ground truth representation of 3D scenes. And Omniverse RTX Renderer is an advanced multi-GPU enabled renderer based on NVIDIA RTX that supports both real-time ray tracing and referenced path tracing. And in the next slides, I'll show some more details for Nucleus Kit and Simulation. The Nucleus file server allows multiple software tools to talk to each other and enables live synchronization. And since only the changes on the model are exchanged, it's really fast. There is no need for hours-long overnight uploading, downloading, or converting files because everything is live in real time available on the file server. It eliminates redundant file copies because every user works with the same data. So Nucleus is the single source of truth. In this slide, you see the available apps for NVIDIA Omniverse. Currently, it's already offering 28 apps, and it's still growing and fast growing. All these apps were built with Omniverse Kit. While end users and content creators use Omniverse to accelerate their workflow, developers can build their own apps and microservices. Omniverse Kit is an SDK, a software development kit, and it's open source, which means that the apps that are already available are just examples of what is possible with Omniverse Kit. And you could even use these apps, modify these apps to build your own tools. For example, Bentley Systems is currently building an integration from their iTwin to the Omniverse platform, and Lightmap is building an extension for lighting controls. Omniverse offers 3 options to include physics in the workflows. Omniverse integrated physics, this is the best option as it will run real time and is included, but the physics might not meet customers' requirements for accuracy, but will enable them to do high quality visualization for presenting purposes. Many customers will have well-established CAE workflows, applications using ISV solutions from ANSYS and so on. It's critical to note that these solvers do not run in real time. It takes hours and days for the solvers to do their job in an HPC cluster. So the customer would continue to use ANSYS as they normally would and import the results into Omniverse for visualization with the ParaView connector. Future direct connectors with these ISVs will make this process easier, but won't change the fact that these simulations require special setup and take time to compute. And the last is Modulus. Customers can train a physics-based AI to replace the CAE solver and run the AI instancing directly inside Omniverse. And here the results can be visualized instantly at a very high degree of accuracy. This is a very cool solution, but it is highly complex and requires a lot of customer work and expertise. The Omniverse integrated NVIDIA Physics 4.1 includes the simulation technologies Physics, Flow, and Blast. Customers can use key technologies in the visualization workflows for realistic simulations of the models in real time, including simulating smoke and fire. So the technical part is now mostly finished, and here you see some companies that are already using Omniverse. Well-known names like Amazon, BMW, Ericsson, Siemens, Sony, and some more. And they all have in common that the new collaborative workflow with full fidelity visualization and the use of a unified file format saves a lot of time and money. Plus, and we see this later, Omniverse is an ideal solution for digital twins. I split the use cases in different verticals, and starting with AECO, we usually have visualization specialists, designers, project leaders, and of course the clients. On the production side, everyone can now work with the same dataset and see all changes immediately, while the project leaders can quickly evaluate, design, and even the clients can easily see what they get without tedious preparation. And if they require changes, they could be shown in real time. Cohn Pedersen Fox, an architectural design company, says that we are constantly testing new applications that help us to engage with our clients. We see NVIDIA Omniverse as an application that will enable our real-time and collaborative requirements in one platform, changing the way we progress as a sustainable design practice. Woods Bagot is a global architecture studio spanning 17 locations across 6 regions. They used Omniverse on Project Baker's side, and this slide lists their preferred apps that they were able to use in Omniverse and the opportunities that transition uncovered. So the interoperability between the preferred 3D apps, real-time immersive and photoreal simulation, using a single platform for visualization and simulation, the remote collaboration across teams and departments without data transfer, and the interactive and vivid environment for design reviews, including VR. Woods Bagot had several comments about Omniverse. What I like most is Omniverse doesn't change your workflows. No need to retool. Omniverse just makes your existing workflows better and more efficient. And I was able to import GIS data of New York City, all 5 boroughs, consisting of billions of polygons, 2.1 million buildings, and 300 gigabytes of data loaded into Omniverse that had never been possible before. Again, Omniverse allows designers to do things never before possible. For M&E, we see the same changes in the workflow for artists, supervisors, or clients, so I don't go into detail here again. Only the applications used are different, basically. Sony Pictures Animation is using NVIDIA Omniverse Enterprise to enable its artists to collaborate seamlessly on a single scene from anywhere which wasn't possible before. I mentioned WPP earlier. They are the world's largest marketing organization, and Omniverse allowed them to move to entirely virtual production. Again, that is transformational change, but let's listen to them in their own words.
WPP is the largest marketing services organization on the planet, and because of that, we're also one of the largest production companies in the world. That is a major carbon hotspot for us. We've partnered with NVIDIA to capture locations virtually and bring them to life in studios with Omniverse. Over 10 billion points are turned into a giant mesh in Omniverse. For the first time, we can shoot locations virtually that are as real as the actual places themselves. Omniverse also changes the way we make work. A collaborative platform that means multiple artists at multiple points in the pipeline in multiple parts of the world can collaborate on a single scene. Real-time CGI and sustainable studios, collaboration with Omniverse is the future of film at WPP.
DNEG, or Double Negative, is a leading visual effects and animation studio, and they are exploring NVIDIA Omniverse Enterprise to simplify virtualized production. DNEG just won a VAS award for outstanding visual effects for Udon, the 6th episode from The Rings of Power, and they are working on movies we'll sooner or later see in the cinema, like The Flash, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and TV shows like HBO's The Last of Us. The list goes on and on. Their existing pipeline was inflexible and linear, with long turnaround times for high-quality renders to test animation and lighting, and iterations was cumbersome with slow interactivity for artists. With NVIDIA Omniverse, they are able to do iterations in real time and interactively from layout to design. They are able to test and see high-quality renders instantaneously, and they now have the ability to experiment and iterate without long overnight render times. Here you can see what that actually means. The work on animations had to be done without knowing what you get when it's finally rendered, including long render times for each change. Now with Omniverse, they directly see the result. Actually, this bear took 4 seconds on a system with 8 A6000, while they usually have to wait minutes or hours depending on the file size. And the last video shows that they now are able to even adjust lighting, animation and effects with a nearly real-time response. And this is another example of how they worked before. You see the visual difference. They had to render the scenes to see what they get. And with each, you needed a new rendering, including the waiting time. And on the right, with Omniverse, you directly see what you get while doing the changes. Also, manufacturing 3D workflows influence every step of the product development. And with Omniverse, you have collaborative 3D workflows, a full fidelity concept review. You can run tests and simulation without producing with fast iterations. Volvo is already using Omniverse, and they immediately saw the opportunity for real-time collaboration, as it was something they were trying to achieve already before to optimize their design and development process. And Predator Cycling is using Omniverse in their design pipeline from creation to marketing and communications. And Omniverse allowed them to create augmented, conceptualized products that serve as a starting point for initial sales. NVIDIA Omniverse is also ideal to create digital twins, as all the data that is required can come together in Omniverse. But I'm not spending much time today on this topic because there is just not enough time. Until now in the webinar, Omniverse was mostly used for collaboration, which can be done just out of the box, installing the software, setting up the file server, installing the connectors, maybe apps, and start working. Digital twins don't work this way. Here you need much more work and time. You have to get your data from buildings and objects. Often these are not yet prepared to be used in a simulated environment. You have to connect all the sensors you might require, set up the simulations, and so on. So this might need a lot of work and programming depending on where you start in the process. Digital twins are a part of the metaverse, a concept of connected virtual worlds or the extension of the physical world. NVIDIA views the metaverse from the industrial and engineering lens, 3D worlds that will enable in a new era of 3D design and simulation, and NVIDIA is paving the way for these industries to build industrial digital twins. So Omniverse is also a platform for building and simulating virtual worlds that are indistinguishable from the real world, leveraging the full might of NVIDIA's accelerated computing. This could be architectural design and layout, testing and optimizing warehouse flow, simulating worker ergonomics, training and deploying autonomous mobile robots, or training manipulator robots. Omniverse digital twins are physically accurate with true-to-reality physics, materials, lighting, rendering, and behavior. So you can test systems, software optimizations, or upgrades in the virtual world and avoid system downtime or costly physical prototyping. And it also enables to accurately simulate and predict infinite what-if scenarios. Coupled with NVIDIA technologies like Isaac, Metropolis, Reopt, Modulus, and many more, you can achieve an autonomous feedback loop between the real world and digital twins while constantly retaining and optimizing AIs. For the future, we can expect that everything built will first be simulated in a virtual world. Everything that moves will be autonomous, and everything autonomous requires simulation in the virtual world. As AI agents can only achieve intelligence by training in scalable, photorealistic environments that obey the laws of physics. Omniverse Enterprise runs on any NVIDIA RTX class GPU. We recommend at least an A4000 or higher. Depending on the team or user's workflow and dataset, for design, collaboration, and simulation workflows, it could be a workstation or a server, or multiple server combined with GPU virtualization. And a new challenge is emerging: the need to simulate in real time physically accurate virtual worlds, the digital twins, at the factory, city, or planetary scale to optimize industrial processes or train AI agents. NVIDIA released a new class of computer architecture they are calling NVIDIA OVX, a reference architecture for a purpose-built server to run these digital twin simulations. The NVIDIA platform is free for individuals to collaborate between apps and the other person, but licenses are required for NVIDIA Omniverse Enterprise. NVIDIA offers 3 different subscriptions for Omniverse Enterprise. The Creator subscription provides access to all the available tools and costs $2,000 per year. Minimum order quantity is 2. The Reviewer subscription is just for view or review content, so for users that don't need the full design and create functionality. And the Nucleus subscription is needed for every user that wants to make changes on data on the file server. Creator and Reviewer subscriptions are concurrent user licenses, so they can be shared, and the Nucleus subscription is a named user subscription, so it can't be shared. With the minimum order quantity of 2 Creator, 10 Reviewer, and 4 Nucleus subscriptions, we have a starter pack of $9,000 per year for NVIDIA Omniverse Enterprise. And please keep in mind that the workstation version is free, and there is also a 30-day evaluation license available, and customers can request different NVIDIA Omniverse sessions on Launchpad. So to test the environment or workloads. The deployment of NVIDIA Omniverse is flexible and scalable. You can deploy the Nucleus on a workstation, on a server in your data center, or even in the cloud and on virtualized environments, just the way as you need it. To decide which license you need for a user, you just have to check which tools he will use. Access to all tools and the file server, you need a creator and a Nucleus subscription. If you only use third-party tools and applications, you only need the Nucleus subscription. Then only reviewing just needs the review subscription, but commenting and minor edits with view also requires the Nucleus subscription. And now I already reached the last topic for today. Since January, we are offering the new NVIDIA RTX 6000 ADA generation, which is now added to our product range. And here is a gen-to-gen specifications comparing the NVIDIA RTX 6000 ADA to the two previous 6000 series GPUs, Ampere and Turing. Important to note is the significant increase in CUDA, Tensor, ray tracing cores and memory bandwidth, along with significant increases in the number of hardware video encoders and decoders. And all of these capabilities and performance with the same 300 watt power as the previous Ampere generation. NVLink is not supported in the ADA generation. Customers that need NVLink will still be able to purchase the Ampere-based RTX A6000. We have a full webinar for the 6000 ADA, and I will provide the link later here so you can watch it if you're interested in more details. I just want to point out today that Omniverse can take advantage of DLSS 3 to improve the performance. The chart on the right shows 3 to 4 times performance improvements when working with 1080p and 4K resolutions. The chart on the left shows the significance of DLSS 3. 30 frames per second, or FPS, is considered real-time when working with 3D models and designs. Anything less than 30 FPS is difficult to work with, and interacting with models is slow and clunky. In the chart, working with 4K resolution using the RTX A6000 results in less than 30 FPS. The 1080p tests are barely over 30 frames per second. The RTX 6000 ADA generation GPU with DLSS 3 provides over 30 frames per second for all models, 1080p and 4K. And this performance difference is significant. The RTX 6000 ADA generation delivers a 30 frames per second experience across the board, delivering a usable solution regardless of the resolution. And we will see the same differences with the passive versions L40 and A40. On the last slide for today, I've put some links if you are interested in further information. First is a link to the PNY Partner Hub, where you can later find a recording of this webinar and also other webinars like the 6000 ADA I mentioned before. I've put here a link to NVIDIA's YouTube channel for Omniverse that offers some really good videos about Omniverse. And the third link leads you to the download of Omniverse. And here you also get further informations. And I also included a link where you can register for GTC. This is next month. And it will also provide a lot of information about NVIDIA Omniverse and of course other new NVIDIA technologies. And the last is the packaging, pricing and licensing guide that beside the pricing also offers some information about the components, including example scenarios. Yeah, and with this, we can start a Q&A if there are questions. Manfred, do we have questions?
Hey, hello. Yeah, only one. Somebody asking for the minimum configuration for a workstation to work with Omniverse.
The configuration basically first refers to the applications you are using or that you want to use with Omniverse. You have to keep in mind which graphics card you would need here. Then plus, if you want to have the live rendering also, this will of course also use some performance. That's why we recommend at least an A4000, and then it's depending on the basics or on the basic you want to run here. In general, Omniverse can be used with all NVIDIA RTX cards, so GeForce and the professional cards. Yeah, and I think it's
okay. And the other question was about virtualization, but you have explained some slides before, but it's also working in a virtual environment.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it from my side. And I think, can Omniverse collaboration be done using lower spec on machines, non-RTX, collaborating using cloud compute?
If you only need access to the files, you don't need an NVIDIA card. You can do it with any graphics card, but you will need a Nucleus subscription to access the files. But you only need the NVIDIA card if you want to use the provided tools from Omniverse. So just your application and the data can be done with any graphics cards.
Next question. Are there any pathways for educators to sample Omniverse? I think he's asking for some education sampling.
Yeah, Omniverse comes with educational prices. And you might be happy then that NVIDIA will lower the price for the education licenses. But I'm not sure if it is already announced. Maybe you will hear soon of it. So there's a significant decrease of prices for educational users.
Okay, on the other way, we can test with a workstation version for free.
Yeah, and also with the evaluation license for 30 days.
Yeah, hopefully all questions are answered. Oh,
I'm not sure if we can say this. So no one heard that an educational license will only cost $1 in future.
No, and do NVIDIA plan to make collaboration possible using cloud rendering in the future, similar to Microsoft cloud rendering?
Actually, with the microservices that are provided from the Nucleus file server, it is already possible now. So we can use the cloud for rendering or your systems that you have in your data center, maybe. So it is already possible today.
So I'm checking some seconds for maybe a question, another question. I don't think so. So what I can say, it's, yeah. Many thanks to joining the webinar from us. Many thanks also to Frank to show all the slides and explain everything. After this event, I will make an email inside with a link to a replay to this webinar, also the presentation slides you can download. And I put also some links inside, maybe from NVIDIA Discord, where NVIDIA have on Discord an own NVIDIA Omniverse channel. So you can discuss or asking for help for everything there. This is from my side. Frank, you have some words?
Yeah, also thank you for attending. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us, and we hopefully can then answer even more questions.
Yeah, many thanks also from my side. I wish you a nice rest of the week. Take care and goodbye.
Okay, bye. Ähm, also im Prinzip angefangen bei der A4000 bis nach oben hin gibt es dann je nach Modell teilweise keine Grenzen. Eine A6000, jetzt die neue 6000 Ada, sind für große Produktionen in Workstation auch schon eine sinnvolle Wahl.
Gut. Ja, sonst habe ich nichts mehr an Fragen. Einen Hinweis hätte ich noch, da ich selber auch ein Discord-User bin und Discord immer mehr und mehr wird. NVIDIA hat auch einen eigenen Discord-Channel. Den werde ich mal bei der E-Mail mit da reinhängen. Ist das Thema Omniverse auch komplett mit Question Answer. Die Community ist da auch stetig am Wachsen. Ja, das war eigentlich so ein kleiner Hinweis von mir, was ich dann noch in die E-Mail mit der PDF von der Präsentation an alle Zuschauer versenden werde. Ja, Frank, von meiner Seite aus, ich habe nichts mehr an Fragen und Kommentaren. Kann nur
Ja,
noch
ich
sagen,
würde vielleicht gerne noch mal erwähnen, dass Omniverse ist quasi noch relativ neu. Es bekommt aber immer mehr Zuspruch von Leuten, die eben feststellen, wie das den Arbeitsablauf eben deutlich effizienter machen kann. Und von daher sollte man in Zukunft hier quasi schon erwarten, dass sich das mehr verbreitet. Also das sieht alles wirklich sehr vielversprechend aus.
ja, dann habe ich ja noch fast noch einen Hinweis dafür. Hannover Messe Industrie. PNY wird vom 17. bis zum 21. auf der Hannover Messe Industrie sein, zusammen mit dem Partnern Mensch und Maschine und deren Tochtergesellschaft Open Mindtech. Und wir werden natürlich auf unserem Stand natürlich Workstations zeigen mit den aktuellen Grafikkarten und natürlich auch Omniverse in Verbindung mit verschiedenen Applikationen. Das so von meiner Seite aus. Ich bedanke mich für die doch zahlreiche Anteilnahme an diesem Webinar. Es hat wirklich Spaß gemacht. Ich kann nur noch eins wünschen, eine ruhige Restwoche. Wer Interesse hat, wir haben morgen noch das Webinar auf Englisch, falls da noch Interesse besteht. Ansonsten wünsche ich euch allen eine schöne Restwoche und wir sehen uns beim nächsten. Auf Wiedersehen.